This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. In this Business Intelligence Master Program, today we are going to see deep dive into schedule-based trigger in Azure Data Factory. So we already learned event-based trigger, how you can use tumbling-based trigger, how you can use. Today we are going to see schedule-based trigger in detail. Okay. Let's see. In today's session, we are going to learn scenarios. What is trigger? How many types of triggers available in ADF V2? What is schedule-based trigger? Difference between schedule versus tumbling based trigger, estimations, prerequisite, and required resources. Then demo, as part of demo, we are going to see how to create data lake storage Gen 2, how to create Azure SQL database, because we are going to copy data from Azure data lake storage Gen 2 to Azure SQL database. Okay, next, create Azure data factory V2, then create data lake storage Gen 2 linked service with Key Vault using integration runtime, Azure SQL database linked service with Key Vault using integration runtime. We are going to create data sets, create pipeline, and we are going to run a pipeline with trigger. Okay. Then we will monitor the pipeline. These are the things that we are going to learn today's session, friends. Let's focus on scenarios. So there will be a lot of scenarios, but I just included few scenarios that are important. Okay. How to create schedule pipeline. So first we will see how to create schedule pipeline. Then what I wanted to do, my requirement is how to run pipeline for every 4 minutes. Is it possible to run pipeline every 4 minutes by using tumbling window or not? Tell me, friend.
No, it's not
No.
possible. Minimum
Okay.
time is 5 minutes.
Very good. That is one thing. Next thing, if you remember, how many frequencies we have? Minutes and hours. Do we have weeks, months, some other like days or something? In tumbling window, I'm talking about tumbling window. You remember we have only two options, that is minutes and hours in tumbling window. But in schedule window, schedule based trigger, we have multiple options. Along with the minutes and hours, we have a days, weekdays. Next we have months. Okay, in a month, particular days, whatever days you want to execute, you can execute. Okay, let's see now how to start executing two instances of pipeline at same time. Example, you have a pipeline 1. I'm going to attach, maybe let's imagine something like this. You have scheduled a pipeline to run every minute. Now what happens? First time pipeline started and it is executing. Now 1 minute is again, like you reach next minute. When you reach next minute, pipeline will start again. Previous pipeline is still executing. What happens? Again, new, like same pipeline will be called again. Now what happens? Two instances of pipeline will execute at same time. I will show you that as well. Then we are going to see how to trigger pipeline for every hour. If you want to execute a pipeline for every hour, like now I want to execute again 8 o'clock, I want to run pipeline, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, every hour. If you want to execute, how to execute. If you want to trigger a pipeline for every 2 hours, how you can do it? Okay, we are going to see. Next, how to trigger pipeline for every day at 7:45 a.m. IST. So I'm talking about IST, it's not a UTC. In schedule trigger, it is possible to convert the time zone. Okay, you can change it to the India standard time instead of using the default UTC time zone, because the recent updates in recent enhancement, Microsoft is updated this time zone in the schedule trigger, so we can use this IST time zone. And what I want to do, I want to trigger a pipeline every day at 7:45 a.m. IST. Okay, we can do that. How we can execute, we are going to see next. How to trigger a pipeline for every Monday at 7:55 a.m. IST. So you have some requirement where you want to run a pipeline every Monday at 7:55 a.m. IST. Okay, next. How to trigger pipeline 15th and last day of every month. So you know, in every month we will have a 15th day. 15th date we will have in every month, but last date, it's not a fixed, right? So in Feb it may be 28 or 29. Next, if you consider your January, we have 31, and March you have 31, and April you have only 30 days. So you don't know what is your last day, but what you wanted to do, you want to execute last day of every month. Okay, how to execute last day of every month, I will show you with configurations. That is possible. Next, how to trigger pipeline by using single trigger on Monday 6 a.m. IST, 7 a.m. IST, again 10 a.m. IST, again 4 p.m. IST. I want to execute pipeline in 4 different timings on same day, that is on Monday. How you can do that, we are going to see. How to select IST, India Standard Time Zone, we are going to see. But there are a lot of scenarios that I can able to put it here. But so you just have to think of all those things, friends. But I will give you the enough knowledge that you can think of, okay, for your different requirement. Okay, clear? Let's see now. Next, copy data from ADLS Gen 2 to the SQL database. So today we will see how to copy data from ADLS Gen 2 to the Azure SQL database. Okay, so there is no relationship between your actual execution and trigger. Only the thing is, we need to do something in our pipeline. That's why I'm creating some simple copy activity. On top of that, I'm creating this trigger. But we know how to create, how to copy multiple pipelines, how to copy multiple type pipelines with the delta load, right? How to copy multiple files by identifying the new and updated files. All those things we have seen, and we also have seen collecting the pipeline logs and sending a notification. Everything we covered. Only the thing is, just to understand the schedule trigger, we need to do something in a pipeline. That's why I'm using a copy activity in my pipeline. Let's see now. What is trigger? Triggers are another way that you can execute a pipeline run. Okay, as we know, this is the another way to run your pipeline. Triggers represent a unit of processing that determines when a pipeline execution needs to be kicked off. When your pipeline needs to be kicked off. Kicked off means started. When your pipeline should start executing, that particular information will be represented by your trigger, because in trigger you are going to put that configuration details. Okay, when this particular pipeline should run, right? So next, so there are 3 types of triggers. We already have seen event based trigger and tumbling trigger. Okay, data factory support 3 types of triggers: schedule trigger, tumbling window trigger, event based trigger. Schedule trigger means a trigger that invokes a pipeline on wall clock schedule. Tumbling window trigger means a trigger that operates on a periodic interval while also retaining state. We also discussed about tumbling window, right? So we have seen yesterday periodically by creating multiple windows, how it is executing. These windows you can execute parallelly or serial, okay, series. Next, we also have seen one more thing, trigger dependency, how you can create the trigger dependency. Next, event based means a trigger that responds to an event, such as file arriving into blob storage or data lake storage Gen 2, file deleted in blob storage or data lake storage Gen 2. All those things we have seen. Today we are going to talk about schedule trigger, a trigger that invokes a pipeline on wall clock schedule. Maybe fixed time you are going to tell, okay, I want to run in these timings. So you can execute a schedule. Based on those schedule, you can run a pipeline. Now we also know one more thing, that is pipelines and triggers have many to many relationship for schedule trigger and event based trigger. But when we have a tumbling window trigger, tumbling window trigger is a one-to-one relationship. But what is many to many relationship? Can somebody tell me, friends, what is many to many relationship? We discussed.
A trigger can be attached to multiple pipelines. Similarly, a pipeline can be attached to multiple triggers.
Yes, Manohar, everything is possible. Whatever you are asking, everything is possible. I will show you. Okay. Yes, pipelines and triggers have a many to many relationship. What it means is multiple triggers you can attach to a single pipeline. Okay. Next, single trigger you can attach to a multiple pipelines, as I mentioned here. Okay. Multiple triggers can kick off a single pipeline. Single trigger can kick off a multiple pipelines. Right. Fine. It's what is schedule trigger. A schedule trigger runs pipelines on a wall clock schedule and supports periodic and advanced calendar options. What is advanced calendar option? Because if you look at your tumbling window, we have only minutes and hours, but in schedule triggers offers daily, weekly, monthly. So let's say daily you want to run a pipeline. What timings you want to run a pipeline? Do you want to run morning morning 6 o'clock, again 12 o'clock, again 3 o'clock, again 4 o'clock, whatever timings you want, that just the timings you need to mention in a day. Daily you want to run a pipeline. In a daily, how many times you want to execute, what timings you want to execute, those timings you need to put. Weekly also same. In a weekly means, do you want in weekends or weekly? If it is a weekly or weekends, do you have any specific days you want to execute only on Monday, or you want to execute Monday again and Friday, something like that, or you want to execute pipeline only on Saturday and Sunday? Everything is possible. Next, monthly frequency. Monthly frequency means maybe let's say sometimes as per the requirement that I came across is one of my table which we need to run only 5th of every month, 5th of every month. But in today's session, I'm going to show you if you have a requirement where you need to execute particular pipeline 15th of the month and last day of the month. So how you can configure that in addition to minutes and hours based settings. So in addition to minutes and hours based setting, meaning we are already having minutes and hour based settings. Along with that, we have daily, weekly, and monthly frequency in our schedule trigger. Okay. Furthermore, with weekly and monthly frequencies, schedule triggers allow specifying multiple weekdays or month days. You can specify multiple weekdays and month days. Can you hear me, friends? I think Manohar is saying he is unable to hear me.
We can
Pawan,
hear
can you
you,
hear?
sir.
I'm able to hear
Okay.
you. No problem.
Manohar, please rejoin quickly. Okay, fine. When creating a schedule trigger, you specify a schedule, start date, reoccurrence, end time for the trigger and associated with a pipeline. So you need to create a trigger, and in the schedule trigger, you need to mention start date, reoccurrence, and end date. End date is optional. Okay. Reoccurrence means, do you want to repeat same execution daily or hourly or in a minutes or monthly or weekly, something like that. That reoccurrence you need to tell. Next, for the trigger and associated with a pipeline. For the trigger, that particular trigger you need to associate it with a pipeline. I'm not sure. Some people are saying they are not able to hear. Some people are saying able to hear. Can you quickly confirm, everybody, friends?
I don't have any issue.
Yeah, me too. I don't have any issue. Yeah, I can hear you.
Rest of the people.
I can hear, sir.
Okay, I think they have issue. Okay, fine. Now you see, pipeline and triggers have a many-to-many relationship. Multiple triggers can kick off a single pipeline. A single trigger can kick off multiple pipelines. As we know, schedule trigger is a many-to-many relationship. Okay, fine. Schema overview. See, whenever you are scheduling your pipeline by using schedule trigger, you need to mention all these things. But some of these things are optional. We'll see. Start time. When this trigger should start executing. End time. When this trigger should stop executing. End time means the time which you have mentioned as a end time. From that time onwards, your pipeline will not execute. Okay, pipeline will not execute. Okay, time zone. The time zone the trigger is created in. These settings impact start time, end time, and schedule. Okay, time zone the trigger is created in. This setting impacts start time, end time, and schedule. Okay, what it means is time zone. Example, if you look at IST time, IST timing, the timing is totally different. When you mention start time, end time, and schedule, so it totally different. When you go with UTC, start time, end time, and schedule is totally different, friends. Okay, so that's why you need to carefully schedule. So we are in India, so we need to select a time zone, India Standard Time. Based on that, we need to put our start time, end time, and schedule. Reoccurrence, how frequently you want to execute. Example, a reoccurrent object that specify the reoccurrence rule for the trigger. It is going to create some rule for the trigger. The reoccurrence object supports the frequency interval and the schedule elements. What is frequency interval, schedule elements? So these three things. In reoccurrence, you are going to use frequency, interval, and schedule. What is frequency? Frequency is nothing but the unit of frequency at which the trigger reoccurs. The supported values includes minutes, hour, day, week, and month. Okay, you understood? So it is not going to support only minute and hours. It is also going to support day, week, month. It is going to support all these 5 frequency types. That is minute, hour, day, week, and the month. Let's go with the interval. Interval is nothing but a example. Let's say if I am giving interval is 3 frequencies hour. So then every 3 hours pipeline will execute. Let's say now 6 o'clock pipeline triggered, again 7, 8, 9 o'clock again it will run. 10, 11, 12 o'clock again it will run. Every 3 hours. Okay. Let's say interval is 3 weekly frequency. Then Every 3 weeks it will run. Every 3 weeks it will run. Understood? Maybe this Sunday it ran again. Next Sunday it will not run again. On third Sunday it will run again. Okay, understood. Next. So you can see here a positive integer that denotes the interval of the frequency value, which determines how often the trigger runs. For example, if the interval is 3 and the frequency is weak, the trigger reoccurs every 3 weeks. Okay, clear? So if the interval is 3 and frequency is hour, then what happens? Trigger reoccurs every 3 hours. You just need to understand something. Now we have a schedule. The schedule property contains modification for the reoccurrence that are based on minutes, hours, weekdays, month days, and the week numbers. So in schedule, it is very, very important. In schedule, you are going to modify some of the things. Example, you have selected once in a day, one day, meaning every day you are going to repeat. You understood the frequency, you will say day. Interval, you have said 1. Now what happens, friends? Every day it is going to run the pipeline. You understood? Every day it is going to run the pipeline. Now my question is, what is this schedule? Every day it is going to run a pipeline, but the question is, now what I wanted to do in a same day, I want to run at 6 a.m. I want to run at 7 a.m. I want to run again at 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. Again I want to run at 2 p.m. Then I want to run at 6 p.m. So I have a 5 times I want to run in a same day. So such type of modifications, if you want to do, you need to do in a schedule. Okay, don't worry, I will show you in detail. Okay, but you got some idea, right? Start time means when this trigger start triggering the pipeline. Anytime when this should not trigger your pipeline. Okay, from the time you mentioned as a end time, from that time onwards it will not trigger your pipeline, but this is optional. If you are not mentioning this, that will go continuously. There is no ending, it will go unlimited. Time zone, it will support the different time zones. So as per our requirement, we need to select, as we are in India, so we are going to select the IST. Reoccurrence, as I mentioned, reoccurrence is nothing but you are going to select frequency interval schedule. Frequency is nothing but a whether you want to run a pipeline every 4 minutes, then you need to say frequency is minutes, interval is 4. So 4 minutes, every 4 minutes pipeline will run. Hour, day, week, and a monthly. You have all these things. So these are the different frequencies we have. Interval is always a positive number. We understood, right? Maybe you want to run pipeline every minute or every 2 minutes, every hour, every 2 hours, something like that. That number should be a positive number. Interval number should be positive. And once you select every day, in a day I want to execute some 4 times, 5 times, then you need to go with the schedule. Okay, I will show you all those things. Difference between schedule and tumbling trigger, but we have few more things that I have not included. See, a schedule trigger runs pipeline on a wall clock schedule, but tumbling window are a series of pixel sized non-overlapping and contiguous time intervals. Okay, we have seen yesterday this difference. Now after a schedule trigger is published, interval and frequency can be edited. See, in schedule trigger you can edit all the things, but in tumbling window we cannot change. Okay, you can run pipeline for every minute also, it is possible here. Okay, but window time minimum 5 minutes, which means we cannot run pipeline for every minute. Window time is minimum 5 minutes. Okay, schedule trigger will not depends on any other trigger, remember. Okay, so because we cannot create any dependency or something, but in tumbling trigger we can create the dependency. So tumbling trigger, one trigger can dependent on other trigger, or you can also create a self dependency trigger. We have seen yesterday. Schedule trigger is many to many relationship, but tumbling window is one to one relationship. What are the other things? The other things is tumbling window you can use for processing your historical data, but schedule trigger you cannot use for processing your historical data. One more difference is, in schedule trigger we have a frequency like hours, minutes, days, week, and months, but in tumbling window the frequency that we have is only minutes and hours. Okay, I hope everybody's clear. Next, schedule trigger capture properties. So here also you can able to capture some properties, that is trigger schedule time, when this is started executing. Trigger start time, end time means maybe your trigger is created in 2010. From 2010 to till today it is running every day. Start time means 2010. End time means maybe whatever end time you have mentioned end time is 2050. That is your end time. Schedule time means when this pipeline is executing currently. That is going to be our schedule time. Prerequisite, we should know what is data lake storage Gen 2, SQL database, key vault, schedule trigger, Azure data factory, integration runtime and types, linked service data set, and the activities. Finally, we need to know pipeline. So we know all these things that we have discussed in detail on all the components. Let's go to the required resources. We need to create the Azure data factory v2, Azure data lake storage Gen 2, Azure SQL database, key vault. Okay, these are the 4 services that we need friends. Okay, these are the slides I have, but before I go and do the demo, I need to fix the audio issue. I don't know, I need all of you to ping in chat window whoever can able to hear, whoever is not able to hear. Okay, please start pinging. Quickly friends, if you take more time it will be delay for you. Then I am able to, it's fine. I see everybody is saying able to hear, but how is saying not able to hear. Sudhir, can you be able to hear now? Sudhir, can you able to hear now? I think issue from your end, Sudhir. Then these many people are able to hear. Okay, fine. Come here. Now let's quickly create all the services that we need. I need a SQL database. Let me create the SQL database quickly. Click on SQL database. Click add to create the SQL database. Resource group, let's click create. Here it's a cloud funded GI master program. Click OK. Come here, let's select your SQL database name. I will say cloud funded SQL DB. Click create new. So you know all these things, okay? Cloud funded SQL server. Let me enter username here. East West, click OK. Click review plus create, then click create. Okay, fine. Let's come here, total.azure.com. So I created the SQL database. I think the deployment started. Come here. Let's create our storage account, that is data lake storage Gen 2. Click on storage accounts. Click add to create the data lake storage Gen 2. Resource group is same resource group you can select. This is master program. Here storage name I will say cloud funded Gen 2. Gen 2 ADLS. Let's click networking. You know how to turn on the hierarchical namespace. Enable this hierarchical namespace, then click review plus create. Running final validation, then create it. Now click here. Here I want to create a Azure data factory. Let's create data factory. Click on data factory. Click add to create the data factory. Okay, select Cloud Pandit BI master program, and this one is Cloud Pandit ADF V2 for BI. So configuration, I want to hit configure later, click review plus create. Okay, copy the name of data factory because I need to add it in a keyword, create it. Let's open one more tab. See here I have a keyword. Let's create keyword. Click on keywords. Click add keywords. Create resource group is this is the resource group, and keyword name. What is the keyword name? Cloud Pandit. Okay. AKV for schedule trigger ST. Where this name should be unique. Then click access policies. Here I need to add my data factory name. Select all of this. I need to grant full access to my data factory. Click select here. Select your data factory. Click this. Click select. Then add your data factory. Once you add your data factory, then click review plus create. It is going to run the final validation. If the validation passed, it will enable you to create the data Azure keyword. Click create. So now SQL database is ready, storage is ready, data factory is ready, keyword is also coming up now. Let's do one by one. Okay, first thing is let's go to like a database. Click go to resource. We need to set the server firewall. Click set server firewall. Click add client IP. See, I added client IP. Then you need to allow Azure services and resources to access the server and save it. Once you save it, come back, take the server name. Okay. Go to my Azure Data Studio. Okay, here. Now I will just create the new connection. Okay, just click here. I just put my server name here. SQL login. Let me enter username here. Here. And here your database name. Database name is Cloud Pandit SQL DB. Click on it. Okay, I'm here. Just expand this. Right click on this. Click refresh. Expand this. Click the table. See, you don't have any tables here. You see, you don't have any tables because it's a empty database that we have. Right click, click new query. So we are here, but we know we don't have any tables because when I load the data from data lake storage gen 2 to the database, then I will create the tables from the Azure data factory directly. I won't create any table manually. Come here. So my target is ready. Let's prepare your source also. Go to resource. Come here. Click on containers. Click container. Here you can say Cloud Pandit. Click create. Go inside this container. Let's create a directory folder. This is, you can see, CSV data folder. Click save. We already learned how you can convert CSV to other formats like Park, Avro, ORC, all those things. Now upload the CSV data. Now the CSV data, I want to load it into the table. Okay, select this custom file, upload it. Okay, this file I uploaded. Now my source is ready. Source side I have CSV file that I need to load it into my SQL database. Now I need to open my Azure data factory. Okay, go to resource. Click on author and monitor. What else you need to do, friends? You need to store your blob key and Cloud Pandit like SQL database connection string both in your keyword. Okay, let's do that. So before that, yeah, let's do that first. Come to First, let's focus on your source. Your source is data lake storage gen 2. Go to access keys. Data lake storage gen 2, it will not allow you to store the connection string. Only it will allow you to read the key from the keyword. That's why select only key. This key I will keep it in my keyword. Go to resource. Click on secrets. Click generate/import. Here you can say it's a VDLS. Create it. Now come to SQL database. Go to connection strings. Take this connection string. What I need to do in this connection string, you will have all the information. You can see you have your server information, your database information. Next you have your user information. I just have to type the password here. Okay, I have typed the password here. Okay, I will type the password here. Then that password I'll just copy paste. Okay. I copied. Let's take that. Click on generate/import. Here I can say SQL connection string. You can put that connection string here. Create it. Now I kept both the things in my keyword. Now come to data factory. Let's go to manage tab to create your linked service. Click new to create the linked service for. Let's create a linked service for your SQL database first. This is a LS for the SQL DB. By using auto resolve integration runtime, we are doing subscription is free trial, server name is this. So am I going to output all of these things, something like this? No, I'm just telling you. So you can do this, but it's not the way to do. You need to use the Azure keyword because we kept all the connection string in Azure keyword. I will read this connection string from the Azure keyword. So you have not connected to the Azure keyword first. Let's connect to the Azure keyword first. Click new. You can separately create or on the fly you can create the linked service for your Azure keyword. LS for Azure keyword, linked service for Azure keyword. Subscription is this. Like which one you need to connect? This is FAQ. This is the one which we need to connect. Okay. This is for scheduled. Let's test the connection for your keyword. Successful. Create it. Now secret name. So this is SQL database. What is the SQL database secret name? This is the one. SQL DB connection string. You need to give the secret name. Test the connection. Connection successful. You can create it and publish all. Because the reason why you need to publish is once you publish this Azure keyword linked service, then only you can able to use it in other linked services. But now without publishing, how I have used, because on the fly you have created both the things, there is no issue. But now you have already Azure keyword linked service. If you are trying to refer in other linked services, it will not work if you have not published this linked service. That's why I published. Let's use this Azure keyword linked service in my data lake storage gen 2. This is also LS for linked service for AD LS gen 2. Okay. By using account key only. Next, from Azure subscription or enter manually. I want to see here, if you go with the Azure subscription, you don't have any option. Let's click enter manually. Then you can able to read key from the keyword. URL, you need to hard code it anyhow. This will update soon. Okay. See, this is the linked service I'm using. Key, I need to read it from the keyword. How you will read? This is the key secret name, ADLS key. Give that key here. Now URL I need to form. So URL is having account name. Only account name you need to get. Account name is this one. Copy this account name. Come here. URL you need to form something like this. HTTPS storage name .dfs .core .windows .net. Okay. With this, test the connection. Connection successful. You can create it. Okay. Now come to author tab. I want to create a pipeline. Create a pipeline. This is PL for data, PL for data, or copy from SQL DB to, sorry, VDLS gen 2 to SQL DB. Okay, fine. Now bring the copy data activity. Before I execute copy activity, I just wanted to simply, I want to wait for some time. Wait activity, bring your wait activity. I will just wait for, let's say, some 40 seconds. I will wait for 40 seconds, or let's execute something like this. Let's execute. There is some disadvantage and advantage of this now, because it will take more time for us. Let's do one thing. 90 seconds. I will take 1.5 minutes. We will wait. After some time, I will remove this. Okay. Wait activity. It is going to wait 90 seconds. Then it is going to execute my copy activity. Okay. Now come to source. What is my source? Click new. So my source is ADLS Gen 2 data lake. You simply search with Gen 2. Click continue. What type of file you have in source? CSV. Let's say this is DS for ADLS source. Use this linker service and browse to the storage. This is the file. This is the folder. In this folder, this is the file I need to read. And first was that you need to say, and you can import the schema. Okay, fine. You can import the schema. Okay. Now come to sync. Where you want to load this data into SQL database. Let's say SQL database. SQL database continue. This is, you can say DS for Azure SQL DB. Let's sync. Use this linker service, that is this. Then load table name. What is your table name? You don't have any table, you have not created. Okay, let's say click AD. I want to give the table name here, something like this. Cust. This table will be created dynamically. Okay, db.cust I hard coded. Okay, as you don't have table exist, you cannot import schema. Click none, then click OK. Okay, now you need to say auto create table. Table should be created automatically. That's why this option we have seen previous session. Okay, now source side, let's click preview data. How many columns you are getting? You are getting player ID, player name, player IST, number of matches. Along with this, I want to say load date. How you add new column? Additional column is here. You need to say load underscore date. Load date I want to pass. This load date should be add dynamic content. Here you need to pass your UTC. Now UTC, now you can take current time, it will generate in a UTC format. This we know how to convert time, date, convert. So here you have a convert time zone. Okay, just select convert time zone. See, convert to time zone. In this, I need to pass the UTC now function, and I need to say this is currently generating UTC function, but I need to convert into India standard time. Okay, so what I'm saying, UTC now it is generating, that is in UTC format. Now I need to convert into India time zone, India standard time zone. This also we have seen. Okay, click preview data now to see how it is coming up. See, now the current time is 7:54 in India, 7:54:28 seconds. So it is giving correct time, meaning at this point in time, these things are loading into our target. Okay. Now this is the pipeline we have. This is the things. Fine. Now I don't want to trigger anything manual. I want to create a schedule trigger. Click new/edit. Click here new trigger. Here tumbling window. You see here you have minutes and hours. But let's go with schedule trigger. You see here how many things we have: minutes, hours, days, weeks, months. First thing, let's focus only on the first time zone. We need to fix time zone. India means Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, New Delhi. It will be plus 530 hours. They are going to add it to the UTC to get the current IST. Okay, this is the IST time. IST time will be like, if you want to be in a IST timing, you need to be, the time zone is Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, New Delhi. This is the time zone you need to select. Now, when you need to start your trigger, I need to start my trigger at 7:59. 7:59. Okay, AM or PM. See, the time is AM only, so AM only I want to start. Click OK. 7:59, my trigger will start. This is the time. So how frequently you want to execute? As I said, reoccurrence in this will have a multiple things. One is interval, second one is frequency. So let's focus frequencies minutes now. So how frequently you want to execute? See here, you can say every 2 minutes it is possible. Every 1 minute it is possible. Okay. For now, I want to go every 1 minute. Do you want to specify an end time? Let's specify end time to 8 o'clock 1 minute. Okay, let's say it should be 8 o'clock 1 minute. Only it should call only 2 times. 8 o'clock 1 minute, AM or PM? AM only. So meaning, so it will trigger one time at 7:59. Next it will trigger at 8 o'clock. Next it will trigger at 8:01. But after that, it is not going to call your pipeline. Okay. Next, I am activating the trigger. You understood? I am focusing on minutes. So how frequently you want to execute? Every minute, then you need to put 1. So you want every 2 minutes, then you need to put 2. If you want every 5 minutes, 5. Every 15 minutes, then something 15. Every like half an hour, 30 minutes. Okay. Let's focus on only minutes for now. Okay. Let's come back and learn other things. I hope you are clear on these things, right? Everybody's clear on these things, then? Any doubts here? Start date, time zone I selected, reoccurrence, and end time. See, this is 11:30. This is 12:01. Let me just reset it back to the time also, today date only. Let's see. 11:30, 7:59 it will start. 11:30, 2020, 8:1 it will end. Okay, you understood now? Clear, everybody? I'm just clicking. So activating the trigger, then click OK. Then click OK. Then you can say publish all. Publish. What is the current time? So current time is 7:58. Within a minute, minute, our pipeline is going to start running. Okay, we'll see. Okay, fine. Come here. Let's click on this author tab. Let's see the timing. You need to focus only on India time. You don't need to worry about other timings because it's completely focused on India time zone. Any questions? Meanwhile, I can take.
Malay, I have one scenario like, is it possible to do whenever time, suppose if date is 5 today and hours and minutes also same, means 5 hours, 5 minutes. Whenever day is equals to hours, hour is equals to minutes, we can run a pipeline that time, trigger.
We'll see that one once. See, now let's focus on this. Trigger one is started. What time? At 7:59 it started. Click on this. See here, wait activity is executing. How much time it is going to wait? In wait activity, we configured 120 minutes or 90 minutes. How many minutes we configure?
90 seconds.
90 seconds, sorry, 90 seconds. So it will execute 90 seconds. Once this 90 seconds is finished, then it is going to execute. But meanwhile, our second instance will start. We'll see that whether it is going to start second instance or not. Okay. Now the time is, you can see within again, yeah, it should pick next instance. Where is next instance? It should run, but how come it's okay, we'll see. Okay, let's go inside this. You see wait activity is executed, now copy activity is executed. Okay, both are completed. Now come back. We'll see what is happening now. Why this is not executing? Okay, fine. 1 second, come back. We schedule a pipeline for every minute. See here, the good thing is you can able to change these things. Okay, everything is editable. Now you see 7:59 to 8:1. So it should run at 8 o'clock. So by mistake, I forgot to change it to the 1 minute, right? So when I was explaining, I kept 30 minutes. That is the reason. You understood? Now it should be every 1 minute I will say, and I want to start executing from 8 o'clock 3 minutes. You understood? I think configuration when I was explaining, I have given 30. So that's why 8 o'clock 3 minutes, my pipeline should start executing. Up to what time it should execute is up to 8:05. Okay, click. Okay. So 8:03 to 8:05. Okay, 2 instances. It should run every 1 minute. Now I'm scheduling. Click OK. Click OK. Then you can publish or click publish. So 8:03 to 8:05. So we have still 40 seconds. So meanwhile, our pipeline will publish. Come here. Okay, it is publishing is completed. Still we have a lot of time. Meanwhile, let me quickly go to database. Right click on tables, refresh this, expand this table. See first table we got first table. Let's say select start from first. Execute this. See what we got the load date as well. We got the load date. You understood? Now the time is 8:03. Let's go back. Click refresh. So again, pipeline started exactly 8:03, but now the timing is the frequency is every minute. Previously, I think when I was explaining by mistake, I kept a 30 minutes interval. Okay, every 30 minutes I have scheduled. That's why it was not picked next instance. But now what happens? This particular instance is running 8:04. Like at 8:04 again, pipeline will be called one more time. Let's see now. "38 seconds." I think like this wait activity will wait for 90 seconds. Then other activities will execute. But let's see the timing now. 8:49. Within 10 seconds, pipeline should call again because say every minute trigger.
Malay, if you are not giving end time, that will keep on triggering, right?
Yes. See, exactly at 8:04, it ran again, same instance. Same instance triggered at 8:04. Yeah, that's what I said. So when you have not mentioned end time, it is going to execute continuously. Okay, it's unlimited. So there is no end time. See now, 8:04. Now at 8:04, our pipeline, same pipeline is called one more time. Refresh this. Let's refresh. It is executing. 140, meaning our wait activity might have finished and the copy activity it is executing, or copy activity is also finished. See, both finished in this. Come back. So now the status of this pipeline should be succeeded. It is succeeded. Let's see, this is running at yeah, now 8:05. We'll see what happens. Why it is not picked 8.5? Why it is not picked 8.5? The reason is,
Even 8.5.
what?
We already
Less than or equal to end time. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you. Now you understood. End time is 8.5. One sec. You just see your trigger. What is the trigger end time? 8.5. Meaning at 8.5 it will not trigger. It will stop executing from 8.5. Okay, end time is 8.5 means from 8.5 it will stop executing this pipeline. If you have given 8.6, then it will execute 8.5, then it will stop executing from 8.6. Understood? So this is clear. Now, just a minute. Okay, so now you just come to this one, Azure Data Studio. You see, I'm just running here. When I run it, you need to see see these all loaded at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock 4 minutes, these records loaded, and 8 o'clock 5 minutes records are these are the records loaded at 8 o'clock 5 minutes. You understood? We ran pipeline 3 times. This is first run, this is second run, this is third run. All the records we have in this table. You understood? Just to avoid the confusion, let me remove this records truncate table cast. Okay, before I trigger pipeline again, load the data. Let me just truncate the data. When you say truncate, you will not have any data in this cast table. Fine. Let's come here. Click trigger, new slash edit trigger, click trigger one. Same trigger I can edit. Now minutes is clear to all of you. Let me go to the hours. Every hour, what time every hour? So every hour at 8 o'clock 9 minutes. At 8 o'clock 9 minutes. Okay, at 8 o'clock 9 minutes it should start, and it should execute up to, maybe you can say 10 o'clock 9 minutes, or you can say 10 o'clock 10 minutes. Then your last instance also will execute. Every hour means at 8 9 it will execute again, like 9 9 10 9, total 3 times pipeline will execute. Okay, let's click OK. Click OK, then publish on. Click publish. We'll see at 8 9 whether our pipeline is going to execute or not. It is publishing. Let's come to monitor tab. Okay, now just we need to wait for 55 more seconds.
Malaya, if you give recurrences 2 times, it will execute 2 times. Huh?
It's not a 2 times. So you already, I don't know what you are following. See, it's a reoccurrence.
Yeah.
Two times means every 2 hours it will execute.
Okay,
Every 2
understood.
hours. At 8 o'clock it will execute. Again 9 o'clock it will skip, and it will execute at 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
Every
I
2
understood.
hours. Every hour means 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. If you give 2 here, it's 2 hours. 8 o'clock, then 9 it will skip, and 10 o'clock. 11 it will skip, 12 o'clock. 1 it will skip, 2 o'clock, like that.
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
But now I have given 1 o'clock, friends. Okay, don't confuse. I'm just discarding changes. You just click on this trigger and see the saved changes is every hour. It should start from 8 o'clock 9 minutes. Let's see, now the time is 8 o'clock 9 minutes. Whether it triggered our pipeline or not, we'll see. See, our pipeline started executing at 8 o'clock 9 minutes. 8 o'clock 9 minutes. Clear? This is clear to all of you, friends? Okay, let's do one thing. Come back. Meanwhile, it will execute whatever changes you do, that is already initiated, so it will execute. So I already shown you the multiple instances executing at same time. So now wait activity you can remove, and you can keep only copy activity. Let's change the trigger. Okay, new slash edit. Click on trigger one. Okay, let's wait. Otherwise, I'm not sure how many of you can able to understand if I explain everything at once. So let's go to monitor tab. Let it finish. Once it is finished, remaining pipelines will trigger quickly one by one. So still wait activity is executing. Refresh this. 80 seconds completed. Still in progress now. Please succeeded. It will just wait activity, wait well. You can see here how much time we configured here, 90 seconds. Okay. So now copy activity is executing, copy activity is queued. Now refresh it and check it is in progress and it is finished. Now come to data studio, click and execute. See here, data is loaded at this just now, 8:10. Okay, fine. Now go back to author tab. Now I removed the wait activity. You see, I removed wait activity. Let's click trigger, use slash trigger, click trigger one. I'm just editing this trigger one. Let's say this is trigger day trigger. Let's say day trigger. I'm saying trigger name I have changed it to day trigger. Okay. So I'm going to the day trigger. Here you will have a more options. See, day trigger. Okay, reoccurrence every day once. Okay, fine. Every day means so today also it will execute, tomorrow also it will execute, day after tomorrow also it will execute. Now the question is how many times you want to execute in a day. Let's say I want to execute at 8 o'clock. Okay, and I also want to execute at 9 o'clock. I also want to execute at 10 o'clock. You just give 8, 9, 10. But 8 o'clock, what minutes it should execute? I can say 8 o'clock. Okay, 8 o'clock, you can say 8 o'clock, 10 minutes. Okay, next. You can say something like that. But 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock schedule, we will not be able to see. That's why what I wanted to do, I want to focus only on 8 o'clock. I want to execute at 8 o'clock. What is how much time is there? Still, yeah, we have too much. 13, 14. Yeah, let's say I want to execute my pipeline at 14. Okay, next I want to execute at 15. Next I want to execute my pipeline at 17. So in these three timings, every day it should run. One day, meaning every day, 8 o'clock, 14 minutes, 15 minutes, 17 minutes. Every see here, 8:14, 8:15, 8:17. So every day it should run in these three timings. The time is 8, 9. The trigger start time is, so just put it, let it be any start time is fine. But here you have given 8:14. So your this timing our pipeline will execute. What is end time? End time I am just keeping here 10 a.m. That is okay. Okay. Start time can be anything. End time you should be like end time should be greater than start time. That is the one thing you need to remember. With this, click OK. Click OK. Let's click publish or click publish. Now we have still some 40 seconds. We'll see. 8:14 our pipeline should run, 8:15 our pipeline should run, and 8:17 our pipeline should run with respect to the day trigger. Okay. Now come to monitor tab. 14 more seconds. So it will be much more faster now because pipelines are going to execute quickly. So now the 8:14, we'll see why it is not started executing. Yes, it started executing at 8:14. Okay, it started executing at 8:14. You see, it's a day trigger. It will execute at 8:14. Then we'll see remaining things. 8:14 trigger is finished because just we have a copy activity. We don't have anything. Let's come here. Let's check it whether new data came or not. You see here 8:14 data came. Okay. Next, in next 30 seconds, pipeline will run again at 8:15. Again, we will see the new data. Otherwise, the easiest thing is let's truncate this data meanwhile, because if you have more data, it will be little bit difficult to analyze. So that's why my table is empty now. We'll see at 8:15 new data will load it into this table or not. Okay. 14, 15, 53. Fine. Let's refresh now. The pipeline again triggered at 8:15 a.m. Pipeline again triggered at 8:15 a.m. Okay, it's a many to many relationship. If something is not possible in a one trigger, you can able to achieve it in a multiple triggers. You can create a multiple triggers and you can attach to a single pipeline. That's why it's a many to many relationship. So 8:15 the trigger is succeeded. Okay, but we know at 8:16 pipeline will not run again. Our pipeline will run at 8:17. We'll see. Meanwhile, we'll come here. Let's click on select star from last. You see data loaded at 8:15. Within a second data is loaded, immediately data loaded. Okay, now fine, come back, let's check the timing. So within 5 seconds pipeline should run, but it is not going to run because we scheduled to run our pipeline at 8:17. Next run is going to happen at 8:17. We'll see that. At 8:16 it is not running. Again it is going to run at 8:17. In a day, if you want to execute multiple times, it is possible to execute. But these all things you cannot do
Not able to hear you, Mulya.
Can you hear me, friends?
Yeah.
Everybody is having issue?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Not able to hear or able to hear me?
Now
Able to
fine,
hear.
Malay.
Able to hear.
Able to.
We can hear.
Okay, right. Now the time is 8:17. Let's check it. See, already 8:17 pipeline started and it is finished also within 10 seconds. 8:17 pipeline ran already. Let's come here and let's select start from cust. You see 8:17 data is loaded. You understood this is how you need to use the day trigger. Okay, let's go with the weekly trigger now. Come to author tab. Click trigger, new slash trigger, click day trigger. So this day trigger you need to edit to the week trigger. Okay, week trigger. Now, so let's say in this week trigger, right? Weekdays. In this weekdays, today is what day? Monday. I want to execute him on Monday. So if you want to execute on again on Saturday and Sunday only, then you need to select only these two. And what timings on Saturday and Sunday you need to tell you. Okay, fine. Now it is not possible for me to show all these things. So let's go with only Monday. On Monday, I want to execute at 8 o'clock. Okay, maybe I can say, so this you understood already. So I will not take more examples. I just put at 8:20. But if you have given 8:21, pipeline will run again at 8:21 on Monday. Today is Monday, so pipeline will run again. Okay, 8:20 and 8:21 in both the timings, pipeline will run. You understood now? See here 8:20 and 8:21 on Monday, pipeline is going to run, and end time is anyhow I schedule up to 10 o'clock. My start time is 8:09, so that is okay. The start time is already finished, so it is not going to run pipeline at that time. Pipeline will run at 8:20 and 8:21. Clear? This is clear to all of you. So, but if you have any requirement on particular days, if you want to execute, it is possible. Just click OK now. Click OK. Now publish all. So click publish. So it is publishing. Now we have again 40 seconds left. Meanwhile, what I want to do, I want to truncate cust table. Let's run it. Select star from cust. Now you see you don't have any data. Okay, fine. Now publishing is completed. Publishing is completed. Now come to author tab. Sorry, monitor tab. So the time is yeah, 15 more seconds left. See 8:20 pipeline start executing. It's a weak trigger. It's a weak trigger. Okay, refresh it. Weak trigger finished. Now come to here. Just run. Select star from first. You see here we have a 8:20 data came into the table. Okay, fine. Now at 8:21 again our trigger will run or not? Tell me friends, our 8:21 will my trigger run or not?
Run,
It
sir.
will run.
Yes, it is going to run. Once again we'll see that. Okay, once we have seen that, we have a final month trigger we will execute. Okay, fine. So within our refresh this. See pipeline in progress at 8:21 again weak trigger, because that's how we have configured. Okay, fine. Now that's okay. It is going to finish in a minute. Finished. Now you check select star from cast. You can see your 8:21 data loaded. Okay, now come back. Go to author tab. Trigger new/edit trigger. Now click on this. Click new. Yeah, let it. I don't want to create a new trigger. Let's use the same trigger. Let me rename. Okay, it's a month trigger. Month trigger I'm renaming. Same 8/9 it is going to start and it is going to end at the maybe let's say 11:30 2020. Okay, now what I wanted to do, let's go with the month. Every month. Okay, in every month what day? So maybe you can 15th and the last day of the month. Last day means it may be 30 or 31 or it can be anything, right? So I want to say last. Let's say if you want only go with the 31 days of the month. Okay, only what in which months we have a 31 days. In those months only if you want to execute, you need to select 31. But when you execute last means whatever date it may be, last day of the month it will execute. Today is the last day of the month. You see all the advantages we have is today is a last day of this month. So with last day I want to execute 8:20. Time is 8:22. Let's focus on 8:24. I want to execute my pipeline at 8:24. You know this one I am not giving much dates here. Say 8:24 I want to execute on 15th and the last day of every month. Okay, with this click OK. Click OK, then publisher. You'll see at 8:24 our pipeline is going to run or not. So it is not published yet, it is still publishing. See, it is publishing now. Deployed on up on resource, but our pipeline will run at what time? 8:24. Come to monitor tab.
Malaya, if you want only trigger will run at only November and December, not required January to October. That time?
That time, yeah, I will tell you how you can do that. Only on a particular month, then I will tell you how you can. It is possible. Only November you want, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That is possible. Now the time is 8:24. We'll see whether trigger is running or not. See, month trigger is ran because this is the last day of this month. Okay, so this is all clear. Now Murli is asking how you can schedule to run a pipeline only in November. Okay, that is possible. Come here, click trigger, click new/trigger, click on this month trigger. Now if you want to run a pipeline in November, first you need to start your trigger in November. Okay, maybe let's say November 1st. Every November, meaning 12 months once. Okay, if you go with again 12 months, you will have a what you will get again. You will get November what and what timing, advanced reoccurrence, what dates in November. You just have to give this. Clear? Murli, clear?
Yeah, Malaya, clear. Means I asked like that November and December, 2 months if you want in every year. That time you can
November,
schedule another trigger or this is possible.
November and December, if you want both, I think you need to go with the 2 triggers, because it's
Yeah,
not a concurrence, right? It's a totally
yeah, yeah,
different windows. So that's why it's not possible here. You need to create a 2 windows or like 2 triggers.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I hope everybody's clear. Any doubts, friends? Okay. That's all for today, friends. Thank you.